There goes the plane. You guys see it? Hi, Arlene. I'm Mobile Tech. I'm sitting right in the face of the sun. I moved my camp and I'm over here now this time, but see what kind of sunset we'll get tonight, huh? I know you can't see any cactuses, but they're out there for sure, man. There you go. Yep. Dutchman. John and everybody, happy Sunday. How you doing, Dutchman? I saw where you posted somewhere, Dutchman, where you went to some little lake and stuff with a bunch of wildlife and stuff. That looks like my kind of place to go, man. I'm looking for another place to go, but I think let's see, today's Sunday. Tomorrow is Monday, and we're gonna go exploring some more stuff out in the desert with me and Steve. And then I don't know what all we're gonna see, but it's gonna be pretty good. And after that, I'm gonna head out to Payson, Arizona. It's kind of like up in the mountains with a bunch of trees and stuff, and a lot more cool. It got up to like 85 today, I think. That's too dang hot. Hey, Victor Debs, how you doing, man? Hope everybody's okay. Let's see if I missed anybody. Skunk Ape, how you doing, man? Skunk Ape Mystery. No, Skunk Ape Resurrected. Yeah, I know everybody can't keep up with all his different titles, so they just say, Skunk! Skunk, what's up, dude? Oh man, Mobile Tech, you would love this campground because I forgot what its name of it. It's a paragliding place where they practice paragliding mostly, but they had a show out there with a bunch of booths and stuff. I need to post some of it, but it's pretty cool. And they also have, like, I don't know how many planes here from the Air Force Academy from Colorado Springs, and they're like taking off all the time, all day today, and they would fly around those mountains over there, and then they let them go. Then they'd come and fly around and land and stuff. I went to an outdoor reserve and, oh, okay, that's cool. At least I didn't get to read all that. Here it goes. The city of Gilbert in the East Valley. And okay, that's cool. That's not where, no, that's in Texas. I was going to say, is that where that movie, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, was? But yeah, it's pretty amazing then to watch all these planes land and come and go there. And then I was talking to this guy. He was at another camp and he was getting ready to leave, and I heard this noise. I was just sitting there, it was going, and I looked over and it was that ultralight, so that's pretty good. I went to Outroar. Okay, that's the same comment. I'm having trouble seeing. I need a big old shade. Well, actually, I got a tarp here, but I wanted to sit out sun to get the sunset. Ruth says bark. Really? Bark! Ruth! Ruth! Venerable Adventures, another beautiful backdrop. Thanks, man. Thanks. Appreciate you coming in, man. Howdy, howdy, howdy. I was at Troy's live for a little while. Hey, is that Joanna Anna Bobana Fee Fi Fofana Joanna Anna Bobana Joanna Glass? How you doing, Joanne? Good to see you, man. Yep, Yuki's over there hiding in the shade. Gilbert is a town where that movie Freddy Got Fingered was filmed. So, did you do the Echolink on Starlink, John? Yes, I did. I was trying to get a hold of you, and I talked to somebody else. I forgot his call sign, but He knew exactly who you were. I got a brain fart and I couldn't remember your call sign. All I remember was the ZFI, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I know, Larry. His call sign is this and this." And I said, "Thanks," said thanks and all that stuff. Then I told him I wanted to call you up and talk to you on there just for the heck of it, to keep in touch. Yeah. Oh, he told you about it already? Cool. How far is he from you, man? Really, it seems weird to say that in writing there, Joanne. Larry and Ruthie, but yeah, that's the future. So he's like 60 miles away. That's pretty good. Then that means that repeater has got a good range, man. That wherever that repeater is, it says on the details there. That's pretty cool. I was telling this guy, the Steven guy here, and turns out that not only that he lives here and he lives inside the monument and all that. Sorry about that. That's my tarp blowing. Oh, it's 25 miles away. Okay, well, still that's pretty good distance anyway. But this guy, he was the way he got his house is he was a lineman, I think, after the military, so he knew, working all the lines and stuff, and he knew all the properties in this area and knew who was going to move and stuff. And he found this one place he liked, and he talked him into moving. John, when you go up to Payson, go to the Horton Creek biking ramp. Okay, Horton Creek hiking trail. That place is my go-to hiking place. Okay. Yeah, well, Dutchman, the reason why I want to get out of here is because I'm dying in this heat, man, and this campground, which is usually pretty filled up, everybody's gone to where it's nice and cool, so I need to do it also. But I've already made commitments with that guy to go exploring. All right, though, because I believe from where I'm at, Payson is only like 2 hours, so it'd be cool, man. Get to see something different than desert. I think there's forested campsites and stuff, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it's part of the Indian tribe reserve and stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Yuki, where are you? Where are you, Yuki? Joanne, are you feeling better from your last fall? That's why you can't ever say to Joanne anymore. See you next fall. I'll be on Starlink on my birthday, and we'll be live streaming from an old miner's cabin in the middle of nowhere. Okay, Mr. Middle of Nowhere. That'll be cool. I can't wait for that. Did you see Catherine's new thing where she's up there? I'm freezing. It's snowing. It's freezing, and I thought that was funny. It just seems like you're out there camping and then you're either freezing or you're too hot. So that little town of Strawberry is worth seeing as well. Okay, cool. That's all on the one trail, isn't it? I think there's one road going up through all that. How much is the altitude difference there, Dutchman? Do you know? Do you know offhand? Joanna and a Povana, fee-fi, Povana. Yeah, so I'm sitting out here in the desert. I'm not going to tell you where because I'm a solo male traveler, and I don't want nobody looking me up, so. Silent Forgotten, is he in here? Hello, Chris. So you guys will just have to wait. After I'm gone from this place for a week, then I'll tell you where this was. Trying to decide what's for dinner. Me too. That's what I'm going to do too. I'm not going to stay on here too long, but when the sun starts going down and all that, I'm thinking about what to make. It's a toss-up right now. I'm thinking about making something with like taco meat. Make some tacos or something, but trouble with that is I don't have any of the other stuff, the onions and all that stuff. I have cheese. I have the ground beef, I have tortillas, chicken and rice and everything nice. Yeah. That sounds good. I know what I can make. I could make just a couple of good hamburger patties, man. That'd be good. Cause I got a couple of rolls of those hamburger meats. So. Okay, the elevation is 5,800 and pacing is 5,000. That helps because I think I looked at the temperature up there and the high was only 70, so that's pretty good. And when it gets down to 40 at night, it's perfect, you know. Make a taco burger. There you go. Yeah, I actually have the seasoning, you know, the taco seasonings and all that stuff. Just I don't have no more onions and all that stuff because last night there's a camp where there's two guys over there, Captain Jack Scrapper and this other guy named Ray, and they were over there, so I made them some dinner. I made some rice and then I took I took some Spam and I chopped it up and then diced it up with onions and stuff and grilled it like a Japanese stir fry kind of thing and with some soy sauce in it. They liked it. They ate most of it. The weather in Arizona is really not very good most of the time. I don't know about if it's not good, Mobile Tech. It just varies so much, you know. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that's too loud, huh? That stuff is behind me. Oh, were you going to talk about the Starlink radio? I don't know anything about it, Mobile Tech. I just saw that picture that came up on my screen thing, and somebody posted it, but he didn't say nothing about it. He just said it's working real good on the Starlink Mini, you know. I'm having ham and eggs. Hey, that sounds good too. I also have some sausage I need to cook too, so I have sausage. Hoorah, Devil Dog. How you doing, Devil Dog? How's things going, man? That sounds good. I don't have the baked beans, but I have the sausages and stuff. Pork chops, rice, and broccoli. That sounds good too. Do you just grill your pork chops, or were they breaded or anything? Maybe he's talking about the testing beta thing. No, I don't think so. It didn't have nothing that about on there. But I've been getting a lot of people to sign up for that. So anybody that's out there needs to sign up for that Starlink beta test through Starlink and T-Mobile. You don't have to be T-Mobile, any service. And if you go out in the middle of nowhere, like Mobile Tech's getting ready to do, and have no service whatsoever, you'll still be able to text your loved ones and stuff. I didn't want to sign up for anything. I know that's right, man. But I figure I already have one T-Mobile anyway, so it was kind of cool when I was in the middle of nowhere, east of Roswell, and didn't have any service at all. And then they sent me that text saying, "Hey, you're connected now to Starlink text," you know. So that was pretty cool. What's that? I smoked the turkey, chicken ribs, all that. Dang, hot dogs and sausage today. Man, you're getting ready for a party there. Dang. Let's all go to Eddie's place, man. I bet it was good, too. John, are you Elon Musk's friend? Nah, he doesn't need me. You guys made billions more than I ever, made. But John, while you're in Payson, take Yuki to the Green Valley. It wrote squirrel. Green Valley Park Lake. Oh, okay. There's a lake that she could go and get wet in, huh? She'll like that, man. I'm kind of looking forward to that because there's not a whole lot of water around everywhere, but when you see some water, that's kind of cool. Old Mechanic, good to see you, man. Everybody say hi to Old Mechanic. Hi, Mrs. Old Mechanic, Mrs. OM. He goes by OM and she goes by Mrs. OM. That's his wife right there. Hi there, how you doing? Hope you're doing great out there, man. Testing my barbecue pit today, said Devil Dog. Well, I bet it's gonna be good, man. What kind of barbecue sauce you use? That special Texas barbecue sauce? Try Head Country, man. Head Country is real good, and it's made in Oklahoma. Actually, it's pretty good. I like it, man. Let's see. Yep. That's great to see Mrs. Hohem in the house also, you know. Everybody wave a hand at her, you know. Ain't doing nothing but sitting out here in the desert, Miss Old Mechanic, and waiting for the sun to go down past these hills out here, these mountains out here. You can't see as many saguaros out there, but they're out there. I just moved to a different area. This is the area. This is one of the areas that I told you, old mechanic, this is one of the areas that I told you that has a lot of good BLM camping. This is the one that's off of Pump Station Road that I told you about. It's all BLM camping. And look, I'll show you. Let me see. Like right over here. See right over there? There's a fifth wheel. Another fifth wheel back in the distance. There's one way over there. There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of the big rigs and stuff. So you could get in here with the Class A pretty easy. And then when I go up to, I'm gonna try to go up to this place called Payson. It's a couple hours away up in the mountains where you got a bunch of forests and stuff. And I'm gonna check out the camping situation there. So if everything goes good and I'm up there and have a cool place, and I'll try and do a live from up there too, you know. I mean, you guys don't have to show up or not, but if you're in there, cool. But if not, you could always watch the live later on too. So you're close to Marana North and at Tucson. Yeah, I'm at, well, actually, the town of Marana is probably about 6 or 7 miles back the opposite way, but they consider it Marana. You know, it's actually, the Pump Station Road is actually within the boundaries of the national monument, the Ironwood National Monument. So, and the guy that I'm gonna go hang out with tomorrow, he lives inside the monument. Which, how awesome is that? But yeah, on the map, you look on the map and it just says Marana, you know. Hey, there he is. Is that Troy? Good to see you in here, Troy. Yeah, actually, Dutchman, if you drive over to Marana, or whatever, however they say it, then you get on by the gas station and the entrance and all that stuff. You get on the highway, and it's not very long before you see that other one. It's called, I think it's called Pichaco Peak State Park or something like that. So heck, I might even drive by there and check it out too, you know. But depending on how nice it's going to be in Payson and stuff, but I got a feeling it's going to be real nice. Then I'm going to head back down south, Tucson, and I'm going to find a place to go camp out for a couple days, and I'm going to go check out that Pima Air and Space Museum, because I really want to go see that really bad. Hey Troy, I was in your live, but I was at the very beginning, so I don't know if you missed me or not. Oh, you been to Pichaco Peak? That's pretty cool. How long can you stay at any one spot? Well, like this place I'm at right now, it's a BLM run and stuff, and you can stay 14 days. And usually they have it posted in one spot, you know. And they do have, if you go to Arizona, they do have this other stuff called it's called Arizona State Trust Land, and you can fill out a form online if you want to and just pay like $15. That's good for a whole year, and that gives you additional places to camp out also that the other normal people, you know, that want to camp there, they camp and look because they don't have a pass, and you'll have the pass. And it gives you the places to go camp out. Like there might be a gated area and you have to open the gate, and then you can go park your RV there and shut the gate and stuff, you know, because it's cow land also. So they have open range on the cows there. So that's why they make you keep all the stuff shut. Hey John, no running around the desert. Watch out for the plants. Yeah, you're talking about that guy the other night. I don't know what his deal was with it, whether he had too much to drink or something, but he comes up and I don't know if you guys, I didn't see the playback on it, but the first thing he said was, so you're trying to kill the rest of the desert with everybody else? And I said, excuse me? And he goes, are you trying to kill the desert? You're gonna run over everything and back up and blah. And I said, no, sir. I go, I'm just trying to come here because it's a beautiful place. And the only reason I pulled up where I did is because I already saw tire marks right there anyway, you know. Somebody already had parked right there in that area. There was tire marks, so I pulled in there too after that, you know. Then I told him the reason why, because I had a tour of that mountain and all that stuff and blah, blah, blah. And then after a while, he got, you know, he started was like being a hard ass, but then at the very end, he forgave me and wished me safety for my dog. But yeah, you know, he was just a local guy that he said he lived here in the area 40 years. And he goes, it's hard enough when you see the desert dying and stuff because we don't get enough rain and stuff. And when somebody comes and tries to run over everything. And I told him, I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to camp for one night. And everything was cool, you know. Sorry if I didn't say hello. I missed some of the comments. Appreciate you do where you're walking around in the beach and all that stuff, you know. That's what he acted like, huh? He owned the whole thing, but there goes a plane landing right now. Cool. They're landing toward the southwest, looks like. So I guess that's how the wind is blowing out. I used to own the whole desert. Someone stole it from me. Yeah, well, you know how people are when they're, you know, people that live somewhere and they love the place that you sit there and you're, you know, they want to be protective of it. But, you know, he realized that I'm not like that. I would just like to go to beautiful places and look at them and camp on them, you know. I'm not going to tear it all apart. So he realized that, and that's why he apologized. What time is it here? It's an hour. They don't have any time change in Arizona, I don't believe, and I think that's everywhere. So here comes my next door neighbor. This is Captain Jack. He is Captain Jack Scrapper. And he's got a new job and he's gonna get ready to go somewhere, so he's moving his camp. Maybe I'll get him to come over here and say hello. Hey, you already got everything? Are you gonna leave everything, huh? You're gonna leave everything?
No. But I'm not gonna leave till like early in the morning because it's gonna take me forever to sort and organize.
Well, come over here and say hello. I'm on a live stream.
Hey, okay?
I'm on one of my nightly sundown and all that stuff. But you can just, if you want to get out there, you want to get out there. Okay. This is Captain Jack Scrapper. He's got his own channel. I don't know if you can see him in the sun. Let's see. Maybe we'll have to go over here, huh? On this side.
See if I put myself in the shadow.
There you go.
Hello, everyone. Good to see you.
Captain Jack. He's an old-time nomad that I think he's up from the Upper Peninsula somewhere or up there in that area.
I'm in Michigan.
Oh, look, old man. He said, I've watched him before. I am subscribed to him. Okay, see?
Thank you very much.
Say they all know you there, Captain Jack.
The channel name is Captain Jack Scrapper, and if you're not subscribed, I'd love it.
Yeah, and he does, what is it, scratch-off drawings and stuff?
Yeah, that's on Wednesday.
You have to figure out what he's talking about, and then he has a scratch-off, and you might win a big chunk. So get on there and subscribe to him.
All right, thank you. Thank you, John.
Thanks, Jack, for stopping by.
Do you need anything from the store?
Yeah, but I don't have no cash on me.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
What do you want? More Spam?
I'll get it back to you though. Thanks, man. Nice. Okay. Steak and beer. Yeah. that's good. So he's got him a new job, and he's got to go down to this town called Benson. It's back a couple hours the other way south, and they've already, I don't know what kind of job is it. He's talking on, he's something to do with what his degree is in, but they've already paid for his one night's hotel, but he's not going to pack everything up until tomorrow. He's going to leave tomorrow morning and go stay at the hotel. There you go. There's his channel right there. And I can't believe he's actually met a lot. He's been on the road a lot and been to the courtside area, and he's met all these people. He was telling me about when he got to meet Bob Wells and stuff, and recently, and he sat there. Hey, howdy there. There's Steve. How you doing, man? And anyway, so he heard this guy talking, and he goes, that sounds like Bob. He goes, it is. It's Bob Wells. And those of you that know Bob Wells knows that he's like the guru of the van life people and stuff. So this is recently where he's got rid of everything else, and he's like in a smaller van, and I think it's a Subaru or something, and he's fixing it up so it's good enough to drive up there to Alaska and stuff, you know. It's pretty cool, man. My degree is being lazy since I'm retired. Exactly. That's us retired guys, you know. But yeah, Captain Jack's been around for a long time, man. So he's a good guy, man. Yeah, Desert Adventures is another great guy too, man. Steve, oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, Steve, because I don't mean to, you know, like when I start to talk to people, like at there was an air show out there at the airport, and part of it was like showing, you know, protecting the desert and all that stuff. And I'm sitting there, and sometimes when I start talking, I just blow you up and say, oh man, Steve is the greatest. He knows everything about this place, blah blah blah, and all this stuff. And you know, that's what I tell him, you know. And then I talk to you, and then I realize, well, you just want to be quiet and, you know, and be in the background. You don't want to be up front and be the main man. But I don't care, because anybody that comes to Marana, Arizona, in this area, in Ironwood National Park here, National Monument, then that guy knows everything there is to know. If you got stuck somewhere, he knows where you're exactly at. You know, all you do is say, I'm at this place, and send him a picture, and he knows where you're at, you know. So it just goes to say it says something whenever somebody like him is out there and offers you to show you around, you know. Hey, Raccoon Little Bear, good to see you. Captain Jack will be back, but he went to the store. He was like packing all his stuff, and then realized that he couldn't pack it all in one night, so he's going to do it throughout the night, and then he's going to, you know. I spoke to that historian yesterday. Interesting guy. Yeah, that was who I was talking about mostly, Steve. I just literally told him how great you were, and he goes, really? Because he was just like excited for me to hear somebody, you know, that was so knowledgeable. He goes, looks like I need to talk to somebody like that, you know, because of what he does, because he was a historian in this area. So. But I don't mean anything about it, Steve, by telling everybody how great you are. I'm just saying what I felt, man. So sorry if I, you know, misspoke and told all that stuff. I hope that my tarp's not making too much noise. The wind went crazy behind me. Maybe I'll take it down so it doesn't make so much noise. Okay, so you guys are on here, and I think Arlene has already dropped Steve's link, Desert Adventures in Arizona. So make sure that if you guys are up tomorrow morning, that he has a live stream on, and take the tarp down. Okay. My face is red, John. What, of embarrassment? but Steve, I was gonna text you later anyway, but I was gonna say, do you want to take off and go as soon as you do your live stream and all that, or are you gonna do it for another hour or what? So just let me know and all that stuff, and I'll be ready by then. But, you know. Okay, hold on for a minute, and I'll take this start now. It's starting to bother me. Woo. There we go. All right, we got rid of that. That's a much better. Woo. I was only kidding, John. Yep, I went into the buffer zone. Am I back? Hello, hello? I don't know what the heck was happening. It buffered and then stopped and came back, I guess. Yeah, there's a little bit, there's some wind. There is some wind, so, okay. So I'm back, can you hear me now? He's back. I'm back. So yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of a hazy dust, you know. And believe me, that stuff gets on everything, man. Zoom back a bit. This way. Yeah. Yes, we hear you loud and clear, working good. All right. I'm back for a little while then. Well, I was gonna, it scared me because I didn't think I was gonna make it to an hour. You know, usually I stay on for an hour because that's what the tubers do that. So, but yeah, I saw Wandering Gypsies live for a little while. I didn't see all of it, but that looked pretty cool. Wherever they were, you know. See any quail or rabbits? No, actually, the only thing I've been seeing, I've heard a couple of coyotes at night in the evening, and then the only thing I've seen a lot of are those little ground squirrels. I guess is what they call them. I keep wanting to say that they're chickmunks, but they're not. They're like ground squirrels. But I know there's more than that out here, you know, because there's so much land out here. There's got all kind of stuff out here. Got to be. In fact, there's a bunch of holes out here, so I think that those kangaroo rats or whatever they are out here too. Now I'm paranoid. I'm scared that I'm gonna be thrown off the air here. But Mobile Tech, I was sitting here thinking, I'm going, well, my Starlink Mini works fine in just putting it in the windowsill and all that stuff. Okay, it says, and even in the desert there are deer. Yeah, exactly. You know, and there's also bighorn sheep out there by that mountain out there. Big one, I mean, bunches of them. And supposedly at some mine out here, they hang around in the mines because it's cool in the mines, I guess. So you could actually see them out there in the mines. But Mobile Tech, I was thinking, I'm gonna rearrange we have mule deer. Okay, yeah. But I'm gonna rearrange my solar panels on top and put like 300 more. 300. I only have 200 watts up there. I'm gonna put like 300 up there, or maybe 400 more, and dedicate like 300 just for the Starlink. Get the Starlink, have its own battery, and just, you know, so it'll just be revolving all the time. I'll be heading back to California this coming week. Man, that's cool. That's cool. You get to go. If it gets too hot, you get to go to California. If it's too cold, you get to go to California and go down to the Huntington Beach, sit there on the beach and watch all those girls in the bikinis. That's a good thing, though. Yeah, really, man. Safe travels to you, man. That guy that I have them by my house, Joanne. Cool, cool. Dutchman, that guy that was here, that was camping with Captain Jack. That's the guy they called Ray Crum, and I know he's been in some lives that you guys probably have seen, but he's pretty much what do you call it? What do you call it when they go up from the cold states and they go down to the warm states? He's from Ohio, so every year when it gets too cold up there by his house, he goes all the way out there to San Diego. He has family in San Diego, so he's been posting all these things from the beach and stuff, and I'm like, oh man, must be nice, you know. Yeah, you've seen the name, huh? Yeah. But yeah, he's got that. I think I released a little thing about a Chihuahua that's growling at me, and that's his dog right there. He's like, if he's holding the dog, you can't go, even raise your hand towards him. He'll like, arr, arr. but then if he puts him down, and you say, "Come here, Diego," and then he'll come right over to you and lick your hand and all this stuff. I go, wow, that's protective right there, you know. That's very protective. Let me see. My thing disappeared. I prefer cougars myself. That's got to be, yeah, that's Chris, Silent Forgotten. Yeah. He's a snowbird. That's the word I always forgot the word. He's a snowbird, you know. So now he's thinking about, heck, he's been here when he came out this way. He had wheel bearing problems, and then he was stuck at a garage all day. But they didn't rip him off. They fixed it real good, and he made it here. And he was camping here for like 3 days before I even got here, and he's been over there camped with Captain Jack, you know. But he left this morning though. You like me, Chris? It says sundown is until 6:41 p.m. here. Okay, then we'll probably miss it then, huh? Hey, Glenn C, good to see you, man. Say hello. I don't know if it's still on here. As an old Mr. Old Mechanic and Mrs. Old Mechanic is on here. Yeah. It's always good to have them in here, man. There he is. Cool. I love all these guys, man. Glenn has all kinds of nice property he's working on and stuff. And old man and his wife have the farm and stuff. And then Sad Tapir and JoJo got that new place. Man, everybody got all kind of place, you know. John, what do you want to see tomorrow? How about, are the petroglyphs out of question there, Steve? Or is it too far or anything? The petroglyphs would be kind of cool. And then anything else you want to throw in. But really, anything that you want to go see or you want to show me there, Steve, because what I've learned is, golly, there's all kinds of stuff out here to see. If you stay out here and just go see everything in one day, you're going to miss a lot of stuff. So I'll be glad to see anything, actually. Really, shout out to Sad and JoJo. Okay, that sounds good. And I think the way you get to it is you drive that road all the way through the National Monument, and it's past behind there somewhere, isn't it? So. All right, here's Sad and JoJo's channel. You guys all check them out. They might be for a younger crowd. I don't know. They might be for Chris's age or something. But they're a young couple, and they're just a beautiful young couple, and I just wish them well in whatever they do. And I've always supported their channel, and I hope they do well. And they got a great new house up in Oregon. It overlooks the river, and they have like mountainous 3 acres in the backyard. Man, it's awesome, you know. Yeah, they do live on Mondays, and on Wednesday they have a premiere. So yeah, Sad and JoJo are great. Exactly. That's Chris right there. I thought we had to do meet up at Sad and JoJo's, you know, because they have actually the room for about 4 or 5 RVs and stuff there. It just looks so great too, their property overlooking the river and stuff. What is it, the Columbia River or something, you know? They have a lot to make content on. Oh yeah, are you kidding me? They got all kinds of stuff. Heck, all they have to do is like go hiking up the top of their mountain to those rocks up there, and they show that, and that's good content right there, you know. And people love that kind of stuff. They would love it if it was live, but they also would like it, you know, just to see a regular video of it, you know, or I would anyway. They don't care how old people are to come hear their channel. That's right, they don't. I like when they have they play their little trivia and all that kind of stuff, you know. Yeah, that's it, the Columbia River Gorge, you know. Beautiful, beautiful stuff up there, you know. So yeah, I'm 66 and I love them. Yeah, exactly. You don't have to be any age to like them and not like them. They're just good people, man. Yep, they're about above the Columbia River, close to Mount Hood. Yeah, yeah. They've always said too, well, whenever we get, I think they said, when we get up to 5,000 subs, we're gonna go have a live up on Mount Hood. We're gonna go climb Mount Hood. But they better be prepared for that one. That's where they jump off that bridge. Well, I think, do you remember when they had that in the news there, Mobile Tech, a couple of weeks ago, where they found that car, that diver found a car in one of those locks up there in that area, where a car that had been missing since 1958 or something, and had a family in it. And they found it, but I haven't seen anything else, whether they confirmed it or not, you know. But when it was like a 58 Chevy something station wagon or something, or Ford, I don't know. But when they pulled it up, nothing held on it. Nothing held on the car, so they basically just dragged up the frame. They got the frame and the motor and stuff, but they can tell with the motor, you know, with the serial number. They might as well have a goal to go up to Alaska. Oh yeah, everybody has that though, you know. Everybody has a goal to go up to Alaska, but I don't know, man. I've been there 5 times about, but it was just going from the airplane to, you know, landing from going overseas somewhere, you know, never staying there more than 45 minutes or anything. But I'd like to go see it, but I would never want to go there when it's snowy though. And I wouldn't want to go to one of those places where you go there and it stays dark for 3 months, you know. But what I would like to do is, if you go there and just visit, maybe one of those cruise ships that they let you off, you know, and go mess around in the town and all that stuff, but something like that, or go see the Northern Lights. I would love to go see the Northern Lights, you know, and that doesn't have to be in Canada, or that doesn't have to be in Alaska. You can go to Greenland or Iceland or any of those places and go see the lights. But I always wanted to see the lights. That's one of my top bucket list things, is see the Northern Lights, you know. Yep. I have a goal to sail to the BVI and never come back. What's BVI? I missed that one. You can see them in Michigan. Oh, I bet. Way on the upper peninsula. See it, I bet, yeah. Oh, the British Virgin Islands. Yeah, that's cool. The farthest north I've been is the start of the Alcan Highway up there. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, but now, since both countries are feuding with each other, It's so hard to make your way through now, man. You know, are they going to start letting people through, or are they going to do like Mexico and say, you guys can't come in until you fill up your papers and blah, 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 you know? I mean, the heck with that, you know. The ideal thing is if you had enough money is go to Seattle. They have a ferry. Put your van or your, that's what you can do, old mechanic. Go there to Alaska and put your van on the ferry. And for, I mean, you're a motorhome. But I think for a van, it's like $688. So a motorhome would probably cost a lot more. But can you imagine just all of a sudden you're already up in Alaska and then you have your stuff already? That'd be kind of cool. I think one time, Unstoppable Morgan, that scared me to death. One time, Unstoppable Morgan tried to get up to Alaska, and she packed up her, I think her Ford 250 and all that stuff, and she got to the border and all that stuff, and she did have a passport and stuff, but she had a DUI that was a felony wherever she was at, and that stopped her. They said, nope, you can't get through, you know. Oh, gods, USM, yeah. She had a DUI felony conviction in California, which was a long time ago, but it was still on the records in Canada to get across, so they didn't let her get across, which was too bad because she would have made a fun trip on it, huh? Here I am in northern Canada and the bear's chasing me, ooh. Really. But yeah, so I like that's why I like Wonder Hussy better, because she doesn't have a problem going anywhere. She has a clear passport and spent 9 days down there in South America and stuff, so what was the name of her alter ego? Fran, yeah. She and for those that used to follow Unstoppable Morgan, but she's not on that channel no more, but it still has a lot of subs, but now she's on, it's called the Trumo Show. TRUMO Show. Trumo Show. Let's see. Dutchman said, I took the ferry from Vancouver to Vancouver Island and camped over there, but I love Banff, is that how you say it? Banff and Jasper yeah, that's nice there, yeah. From what I've seen, that's real nice, man. That would be cool. And did that cost very much to do that, and was it safe? And was that just a car, Dutchman, or it wasn't a truck or a van, was it? That's awesome that you did that too. All right, Mrs. OM is retired now. Yes. Congratulations, Mrs. OM. Yeah, congratulations, man. It's going to be a blast from here on out, man. I'm just happy that I can watch any of you go. Isn't that the truth, Joanna, Anna, Bobana, B5, Fofana? That woman is a train wreck. Yeah, Morgan is, man. Wonder Hussy moved very remote into the desert. I haven't watched for a while. I don't know how she's getting along. She's still on there. She's still on there, old mechanic, and she does have more lives now. And guess what? I'm her moderator, so come on by anytime and say hello to both of us on there on her lives. Yeah, everybody's gonna say congratulations now, man. That's something, you know, to work all your life and then you retire, you know. For a while, you're gonna sit there. For a while, you're gonna be sitting there going, "What am I gonna do all week?" Then she's gonna say, "Well, I think I'm gonna get up early today and then drive real slow and make everybody that's going to work late." Did she end up getting a new swamp cooler? I think she got a new, what do you call those air conditioner units that, you know, you put like outside, a mini split. I think she put like 3 mini splits or something like out there. So they got the 3 mini splits, and then she's got that one little shack where she calls, I forgot it's got one also, I think. Yeah, that's what it is, a mini split, you know. Dang it, my daughter just sent me this picture. Here's my patty melt for tonight. What are you having? I'll have to get off here. Leave me alone. Yes, retirement rocks, man. Incredibly. I was telling them earlier, Steve, that I was just sitting out here watching the gliders all day and the planes and stuff. And then all of a sudden this ultralight comes by, so I filmed that and made a short out of it. I think she wants to sell out. Mobile Tech, I think you're kind of right, because there's so many better places to live and do and operate a business. And she's a businesswoman, you know. Everybody can see how she makes good money and stuff. And there's so much better places for her to do it. Even when she lived in Las Vegas, it was better than Tacoma, I think, you know. But yeah, I look for that in the future. She'll move out of her Death Valley compound, you know. Tell her you are having friends over and watch the sunset with you. Really. Are they a swamp cooler, or do they? No, mini split is actually use Freon and stuff, but they're split up, so the main unit is on the outside, and then the part that blows and stuff is on the inside. That's why they call it a mini split. The first time I ever saw it, when the guy was in a van and they started putting them in the vans in the motorhomes. But yeah, if you're having any kind of problems with your air system on your RV, then that might be the way to go too, is have a mini split, you know. Is that the captain?
Hello.
All right, okay. I'm still on. Dutchman, no, she lives out in Tacoma. She's been living in Tacoma out there for a while now, third or fourth year now, maybe 5 years, I don't know. But it's like I don't know, a good 45-minute trip, depending on which way do you go to Tacoma, though. Yeah, but you know, she's out in Tacoma because why? Because it's surrounded by hot springs all over the place out there, you know. Okay, thanks, Chris, for stopping in, man. And yeah, Dutchman, that's why they have a volunteer fire department out there, and that's why they had those get-togethers. She was putting on those get-togethers and having all these people come out and having a sale and stuff and raising a bunch of money for that volunteer fire department. But now they're like, she brings the wrong kind of people out here and all this. So, you know, so I don't know. That might cause her to think different about where she lives. But I don't know. She has a nice place. You know, it's pretty much a mansion, or her own little paradise out there on top of a hill and stuff, you know. And it's pretty nice, you know. Yeah, I've done all that. I did all that stuff, man. Went to the date ranch. You got a date shake and all that stuff. I even drove through Tacoma and go see and all that stuff. But the day I went, had a terrible dust storm. You could barely see. But I still got the video out on it. You know, it just says, going to see Tacoma on a dusty day. Drive through, you know. Yeah. Tacoma's pretty cool. Yeah, Mobile Tech, that makes sense that you've been there, because I know you want to go to the mud baths and all the hot springs and stuff. It actually does draw a lot of people to go to those hot springs. So yes, old man and Mrs. OM, if you go out that way, go out to Tacoma, they have places where you can park your RV. Some of them are right there, and they have the hot springs right there. You can park right there and go right into a hot spring, you know. So sun's coming in. Yep. Watch out for cougars, Chris. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, it's pretty neat, man. And that's That's one thing that everybody likes about Wonder Hussy is she goes to all those hot springs all over the place, and she usually doesn't tell where it's at because people get mad at her, you know, and so they get mad at her for telling because that means more people come out there. But you know, she's not gonna not tell you about Tacopa because that's where everybody lives and everybody knows about it. But all the other ones are pretty much hidden and stuff, and they do get onto her. But I think people are smart enough, and I think Mobile Tech's actually watched one of her hot spring videos, and she didn't say where it was, but he knew exactly where it was, and he pinned it down and stuff just by watching the video. So yeah, you can do that too, you know. I like she's brought a ton of money to that town, exactly. And if they ever lost her, then they would cry about it. Believe me, you know, because they don't have anybody that has the stature of her that can bring that many people to go there and just donate for that, you know. I like where she goes to the desert cabins and she don't tell where they are. Yeah, exactly, man. And they're out there. And the reason she doesn't do that and tell where they are, old mechanic, is because they're still being used. You know, a lot of them are, and you can, you know, they might have like mouse poop in them and stuff, but they're still being used up there. The people let them, as long as you go in there and be respectful, they let you camp there and stuff and use it, you know. So yeah, she doesn't want to waste, you know, overuse those places. But I'm sure if you personally asked her, then she would probably tell you, you know, on the side. I used to hunt down her locations using her own videos, even though she tried to hide it. Oh, hi, it's Lisa Wright. Good to see you, Lisa. Thanks for stopping in. Watching you on the big screen. Cool. Does it look good on the big screen? The sky looks beautiful. Thanks. I've been to most of the places and cabins that she's been to. Yeah, some of them are pretty cool. I like some of them that's well, she sits there and looks at the wallpaper or old newspaper or something, and to get a date, you know, to get an idea of how old the place is. And some of them go back real far, you know. Of course, some of them didn't have newspapers back then, you know, so. Mobile Tech, did you ever go to the Mammoth Hot Spring off of Highway 395? It's been years since I went to that. Damn. That's a popular one, isn't it? That's where a lot of people stop by on there. Oh yeah, Dutchman. Yeah, so Lisa Wright, still in New Mexico? Not me. Not me, Lisa. I'm in Arizona. I've been in Arizona for a few days in exploring Ironwood National Monument area, home of the saguaros and that mountain out there, Raggedy Top Mountain. And there's like desert all around it. And I'm at a free camp place off of Pump Station Road. Have free BLM parking right now. And we're trying this sunset right here to see how it'll come out. Lisa Wright, I'm planning though, after tomorrow, maybe the next day, I'm gonna head out towards Payson, Arizona, and that's up in the mountains, slightly 2 hours away. It's got forest and stuff. I'm gonna try to get away from this heat because it got up to almost 85 today here. But that's the plan, and then we're gonna do some live from the mountains and stuff and check it out. I used to live in June Lake. Also lived in Bishop. Mobile Tech, you lived everywhere though. I can't get that one glare right out of the middle. That song by Johnny Cash is your song, man. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. Go ahead, Mobile Tech, name it off. I would love to have an 85-degree day here, at least for one day. Yeah, but you know, in a van, it gets pretty hot. It's like a tin can. You're in a tin can or something. You know, I just feel sorry for the dog. You know, I put up that tarp and stuff to keep the sun off and stuff, but then if it got real hot, then I just turned on the van and let it run with the air for a little while so it cool her off. You know, we have trouble getting to 40. Oh my goodness! So you guys still have coats on and stuff. Ooh, you probably have your Carhartt long johns on. I sat there and I bought some of those Carhartt overalls, And then they were like the kind that was like really insulated. I didn't know that, man. They're warm as hell, man. I go high when it's hot and low when it's cold. Exactly. It's in the 80s at Scup Frank's house right now. Yeah, but he's in Florida though. 20 for a low. Yeah, yep. 75 degrees. Yep. Right, Joanne? Let's see. Yes, I think this is garden time down there, Glenn. Oh, yeah. Yep. I think Glenn's already did all that stuff. He's already tilled the garden and got ready for plant. I bet you're ready to plant, huh, Glenn? Okay, let me get a nice cold. Yuki, what are you doing? Are you tangled up? You go get those jumping rats, Yuki. We love the sky. I love these colors. Shout out to Frank. Yes. Yes, Frank. Thanks. I can barely see it. I can see the sun and I can see the outline of the Raggedy Top Mountain, which is the one on the right. Glenn says, I rototilled yesterday and today I'm going to wait till April to plant. Let me see. And it says what? It's the first time a garden will be on this location. My house is 135 years old and I keep finding all kinds of stuff. And I bet you're busy fixing it all too. Dang, I just had to get a new DL and now I see I need to get a new ham license. That's $35 or $30. But do it online. Do it online, Mobile Tech. And when you do it, just get on the phone and they'll tell you how to do it, man. I had to call 4 times to renew mine because they made it so difficult, you know. But all you have to do is know the number, your number, your FFL or whatever they call it. Mobile Tech, the farthest north I've ever been was 395 was Reno. I hadn't realized highway, runs all the way. Yeah. I still have 5 years on my CCW, so I'm good on that for a while. Been all the way to Alberta. Damn, that goes a long way then. Who here has gone on that Highway 50, they call it the loneliest highway in America or whatever it goes when it goes through Nevada, you know. And it does. It has some of the times you're just looking ahead. You just see like a line going straight ahead, you know. Highway 50 is my backyard. There you go. There you go. So you know where it turns into mountain and all. There's a couple of famous railway passes near your house too, isn't there? Because I know that big boy 4014 went close to you when it's going out to California. Virginia City is my backyard off Highway 50. Really? Where Bonanza and all that stuff was? Carson City? That's where the imaginary Bonanza and all that was anyway. That's pretty cool, man. But I hear you talking about getting snow and stuff, but you don't get enough snow where it's really a hindrance to you, is it, Mobile Tech? You know, I took Highway 50 from Sacramento to Lake Tahoe. Best trip I ever been through. Yeah, man. The last time I went to Lake Tahoe, Glenn, we stopped at us eating at a restaurant. We looked on a newspaper, a local newspaper, and they had found a body at Lake Tahoe. And Lake Tahoe is like it's so deep that a body can be preserved if it goes way down there, and that's what it turned out to be. They're going to judge by the way he's dressed. He was from the 1800s, and he drowned somehow and went way down there and was preserved because they said his clothes were like straight out of the 1800s, man. It's pretty amazing. Shout out to the Ponderosa. That's what I'm talking about. Dun, 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 dun. I have that on my ringtone, man, on one of them. One year when we came back from Canada, we came down Highway 50 back down the early, okay, that was before they were saying it was the loneliest highway, huh? Yep, never enough snow to bother anyone. Well, if you guys want to know, Mobile Tech's selling his place, and it's got a shop with electric and hookups and all that stuff, and he's selling all that stuff pretty soon. So get a hold of Mobile Tech if you want a good place to stay. We saw the big boy come through Benson in 2019. Awesome, man, awesome. Last year was my year, Steve, to go see it. I followed it down close to Texas, down by where my daughter lives, and then I also went to Little Rock, Arkansas, just to see it from Oklahoma City. It was June and there was still snow on the mountains. Cool. But Big Boy is amazing, and anybody who gets a chance to see it, they need to see it, man. You'll always remember that, man. Is he hitting the road, Big Boy? I don't think so. It'll be next year, or it'll be later on this year. I'm sure that they've been running it now for the last 4 or 5 years, so it'll be out again this year, but it'll be later, you know. But if you get a chance to see it, go see it. And especially if you see it near a town where they stay the night, because they'll let you get right up to the cab and stuff. So I'll be retiring in a little fishing town. Mobile Tech, have you decided where you might move once you move? Or yeah, that's what I want to know too. Are you going to come to Arizona, Mobile Tech? Are you going to stay in Nevada, California, or somewhere, you know? I bet my money is on Mobile Tech staying in the Sierras somewhere. I don't care where it's at, but he's going to be living around the Sierras, I bet. No, I'll be having 2 places. Why 2 places? You're going to have the vacation house and the normal house. There you go. One in the Eastern Sierra, there you go, and one in the Western Sierra. I guess that one out right, you know. Well, I've never met you, Mobile Tech, but I just feel like I know you from all your videos and stuff, and the way you talk. Like anytime that you sit there and say you're going camping, it's gonna be going over there to the Sierras, you know. Yeah, happy retirement, and hope you get what you want for your house and all that stuff too, you know. So that's pretty cool. Mobile Tech's an amazing guy. If you guys haven't seen his channel, you guys, among just showing all kind of videos from way back, so like skydiving and jumping out of planes and stuff, all that stuff, he also teaches how to redo RVs, the old motor, the canned ham type trailers and stuff. And he has a website that he does that. He holds a class for, I don't know how many people, 40, 50 people. He has an online class, shows how to break down and rebuild those trailers. So he's got some interesting things going on up there. And the property he's talking about selling is, he does have a full shop, you know, and that's where he does all that work. So Bridgeport and Bishop would be nice towns. Yeah, you're probably right on about those towns, you know. I would pick Bridgeport because I think that's the town where Wonder Hussy went to that one restaurant to get those carne asada fries, and she was like drooling over them. Anybody got what? Something? Anybody got the link on the, what is that what you meant there, old mechanic? Anybody got the link to Mobile Tech? Yeah. Can somebody drop Mobiltech's link so Old Mechanic can watch? Yeah, Old Mechanic. You would really find the stuff Mobiltech does really interesting, you know. But yeah, I think you were telling the other day that the actual house that you live in was once what, a old antique trailer too, right? Thank you, Arlene. There you go, Old Mechanic. There's his channel right there, and he's been putting YouTube videos out before Google bought him out and stuff, you know. So you know, yeah, check him out for sure, man. He's got videos on there, probably 8mm or 16mm or whatever the hell they used back then, you know. And he's been putting so many videos out there. And the guy, my gosh, I think the guy has close to 30,000 subscribers, I think, you know. Yeah, VHS. You got VH, you don't have beta vision and all that too. But yeah, he's been doing this since way before we ever thought about YouTube, you guys. So, you know, give Mobiltech the credit. You know, I high five Mobiltech, man. He's got it going on. VHS tape, exactly, man, exactly. but I guess it's safe to say that probably for the last decade or so, his concentration has been pretty much on rebuilding all those old trailers and stuff, you know. And he gets people from all over the place that you know, they contact him because he knows what the old trailers are supposed to be like. You know, you can't take it down to the skin on on anything else, you know, and rebuild it and make it back to brand new like he does. He makes every inch of the trailer look original, you know. So yeah. And there's one he's working on. I think it's his baby right now. And I doubt if he'll sell it, but believe me, when he gets done making that one, he's going to show that to everybody and he's going to be bragging about it. So yeah, he's got some good stuff, man. Cool guy. There, how about that, Mobiltech? Did I push you enough? There you go. There you go. There's his not YouTube affiliated, but his own website, Canned Ham Trailers. They called him Canned Ham. I'm blushing now. Yeah, I doubt. But they called him Canned Ham back in the old days because when you looked at the shape of them, they used to look like the old canned hams that they used to sell. You know, the kind that you took off that little metal key and you had to stick it in the piece of and then unwrap the top of the can, you know, and get the ham out. It was the old canned ham, and that's why they call it Canned Ham Trailer. Or at least that's what I think is why they call it, you know. Yes, I know them campers, really. And Mobiltech, guess what? Old Mechanic drives a Model A around. he drives. There you go. My latest is a 1948 mainline trailer, and he's gonna get that done. And believe me, he's gonna brag on that thing, and I don't blame him, man. Years ago, I took all my VHS and 8mm Costco, and they sent them off to a lab, and I had a copy of them. Okay, that's cool, man. That's cool, but I bet that cost a mint for you, though. But it's cool that you did that, you know. I'm looking for a 48 Fleet Master to tow it with. Oh, okay, cool, you know. I saw this one the other day on some small town. I think it might have been Deming, New Mexico. But I never saw a trailer that was so small. It looked like a half a can ham. It looked like just the door and just, you know, just the door. And it looked like it just had enough room for space for a table and a chair to sit down, man. And it was like silver and the door was all rusty looking. But I was going to stop and take a picture, but I didn't get a chance to. But I went, that is tiny, you know. I don't know what it was, you know. But those were the good old days when you could afford to have one of those little trailers, take the family out, go camping, take a tent, let the kids stay in the tent, and mom and dad get to sleep in the trailer and all that stuff. Yeah, you know. Well, yeah, now the sun's starting to look nice. I hope that my phone battery lasts until it goes down. When we were young, me and my family, my dad was a sergeant in the military, but he always bought station wagons. So I remember traveling around in a Ford station wagon and stuff. I always wanted to sit way in the back, you know. But imagine having an old station wagon and then getting one of those old canned ham trailers too. Hope the desert cop doesn't ruin again. Oh no, he's not he's not in this part, man. This part is the BLM free camping, so he doesn't, you know, he can't come over in this area. In fact, I don't know what he was doing in that area I was at the other night, because with that road, the only place you can go to is the top of that mountain right there on the right of the sun, the Raggedy Top Mountain. And that road goes, and eventually it turns into a dead end. So I don't know what he was doing over there. He owns the entire desert. I remember when the state here had picnic tables, yeah, trash cans, pull-offs, yeah. They had that on the state roads. They still have some. In Oklahoma, you'd be driving on the side roads, and I love those. Some of those old slanted top, whatchamacallits, over the picnic tables and all that. It reminds me of the old days when we went traveling, you know, before you went on just like on the U.S. highway system, you know. And now they have all kinds of rest areas that are nothing nostalgic like what you're talking about, you know. But they did make this coming out this way. I went through some small towns in New Mexico, and they're making like rest areas that have like these little adobe huts out there, man. And those are pretty cool. Little raccoon little bear says, if I had some ham, I could have some ham and eggs. If I had some eggs. That's right. Yeah. Yep. You can camp at all the Nevada rest areas. Yeah. Yep. Nevada has some good areas to camp, man. I just love it up there. When I was there, they even had a campground out there right before you get into Death Valley, you know. They have one actually that's in Death Valley. I think you got to pay like $10 or something, and it's pretty much a gravel pit that everybody parks together. But they have another one that's free, you know. And they have like these slabs out there where there used to be a housing thing or a business out there, and everybody parks out on the slabs. I think that's what they call it, the slabs or something. Our family had a '64 Ford station wagon. Oh yeah, all right. Ours was I think a rose color. It wasn't really white. It was an off-white rose color, and I think we have a picture. I'm gonna dig out the picture one day. But we have the picture of us kids in the back of it, hanging out of the tailgate on it. It's something else. 64, I think it was 64 wagon, man. Yeah, you know the place. It's right before you pay to get inside inside Death Valley there. But it looks like a good place to camp, though, you know. How about the '74 Vista Cruiser? And then, what other station wagon did he have? He had something else, but I can't remember what it was. It was real big. Our station was black. Our station wagon was black, yeah. Did it have air conditioning? Because if it was black, then that got the heat going, I think. Dad had a '66 Chevy, yeah. I just think, old mechanic, I just think that's so cool when you get your Model A out and say, come on everybody, we're gonna go to town and we're gonna go get something in the old Model A, and they start driving down the street doing a live stream. I'm like, that's what got me hooked on him. I went, oh my God, look at that, he's driving that thing. My first car was a '65 Chevy Impala. Mobile Tech, the first car I ever drove was a '60 Chevy Impala. It was a convertible, black and white, and it had, I don't know if it was push button or what, but I just like pulled it into the gas station. And then the first car I had was a '64 Econoline van. And it was an old laundry truck that said, better pressed is better dressed on the side of it. Yep, air conditioning was 4 windows down at 80 miles an hour. That's right. And then if you're in the front seat, you were lucky if you had those, what do they call those, wing windows that you could turn them, invert them, and blow all the air at you. Yep, see, we're talking about all that stuff, man. I really love those colors now. Yeah, Arlene. Yeah, it looks pretty good now, I think. Yeah, it was Desert Adventures in Arizona. Yep, that's right. The twin 40s. You call it the twin 40s, the twin 80s, or whatever, you know. My first car was a 65 Chevy. All right, you had a Corvair, man. Oh, that's what I was going to say is another one of our station wagon type cars was my dad got was he bought the Chevy Corvair. It might have been 64, 65 in there, but he had the Corvair van. Okay, you know what those were like? They were about the size of the Volkswagen van, but it was a Chevy Corvair. And it was okay until the fan belt broke or something, because then you had to unload the whole back because the engine was in the back. But it was pretty cool, man. Did it have a 6-pack in it? Yeah, the Corvairs were cool, man. Yeah. Yeah, I also seen the Corvair pickup truck. Yeah, they have that. And some of them had they call it the cargo door that flipped down right behind the passenger side. Have you ever seen that? That's awesome too. That'd be cool to have one of those now and fix it up. I even have a ferry drawn in those colors. All right. Okay, you guys, I'm probably going to end it. I don't think we're going to get very many colors, but we got quite a bit here, I think. I like that right there. So we're probably going to end it here. I'm going to go fix something for dinner and stuff, and then probably go over there and go talk to Captain Jack. So, Steve, if you didn't hear, Captain Jack got that job. He got accepted for that job, so he's going to be on his way down to Benson and stuff. And they paid for his hotel and stuff down there. He's gonna be getting some good money and stuff. Thank you, old mechanic, for stopping in, Mr. and Mrs. Both of you. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate all you guys' patronage coming in and supporting me, man. Love all you guys, man. Yeah, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'll come to your live, Steve. Everybody go to Desert Adventures in Arizona. Go to his live stream, and I'll talk to you then tomorrow. And appreciate it, and everybody have a good one. Arlene, really appreciate all that stuff that you do with all dropping all those links, man. So you guys have a good one, and I'm just gonna let it run here for a minute, and then turn it off here in a while. But y'all have a good one, man. That's funny. All right. Good night, everybody, man.